Good morning, everyone. Another bright sunny day in Manchester. We're Tuesday, March 24th, and today I want to talk a bit about a decision that was announced yesterday by Eli Lilly, who is postponing almost all clinical research. So what we have seen so far is the odd anecdote of small biotech companies announcing to their investors that their phase 3 trial in this disease or that disease is being halted. Primarily, this has been so far in diseases that affect patients who are in the higher risk categories for more severe COVID-19. So we've seen examples of a trial in age-related macular degeneration. We've seen examples of a trial in Parkinson's disease. But this is the first time that we're seeing a single company announce disruptions to their clinical trials landscape across their entire portfolio. And it's Eli Lilly's that the first to make this plunge. It is a sensible precaution. The Lilly is duty bound to protect its patients, and there is undoubtedly the risk that in asking patients to come in to clinical trial centres for treatments for tests, then you are putting them at a higher risk for an infection. The advice more generally is we need to be staying home, so this kind of runs counter to that. Also, these trial centres are also hospitals, so in running clinical trials, then you're diverting resources away from the front line of treating COVID-19, which is everyone's immediate priority. I had a look at what Lilly's trials are. I think we're currently sponsoring around 300 trials, according to TrialTrove. Many of these trials are in oncology and in diabetes, so there's two things that Lilly's known for. It's also running quite a large number of trials in immunology and also migraine. So Lilly's announcement says that most new trials will be postponed. Most trials that are ongoing will be closed for new enrollments. It might be that there are certain trials, such as those in migraine, where there is lower risk, that may still be able to continue. Lilly's also said that patients that are currently in trials and receiving treatments will be allowed to continue, but I do expect we'll see a read through into higher discontinuation rates once these trials actually start to produce data. It's understandable if patients would rather halt treatments and lower their risk of COVID-19 because that's a very immediate threat. So Lilly's the first. I think we looked at across the whole industry, and I think there's something like approaching 15,000 ongoing or planned clinical trials that are potentially at risk, serious risk of either being postponed. So we'll see. I would expect there to be somewhat of a waterfall effect, and many other companies will follow Lilly's lead. In a certain sense, it's to Lilly to credit that it was the first to do this very responsible step. There is another scenario here where companies should still be duty bound to continue clinical trials. It's pharma's purpose is to provide access to medicines to patients, and discovering new medicines is what we're very good at doing and improving how we treat patients. In the current COVID-19 outbreak, then the balance is we need to do everything we can do to help treat the current outbreak, but there is still a duty to discover new medicines. And I think one thing that drug companies need to be looking at, I know they have been looking at, but they need to, if this isn't the kick up the bum to get them to do it more than ever, is for components of decentralized trials, increasing the patient centricity of clinical research. So whether that patients can stay at home more, we can have remote monitoring, we can have mobile clinics visiting patients at home. Patients can have wearables that will track how their endpoints are doing, as opposed to having to go into facilities for tests. This may mean the endpoints that we measure need to change, and you might have to have more kind of surrogate endpoints as opposed to the clinically validated endpoints that we're used to. But the reality is we need to be protecting our patients, and this is the direction that the clinical trial industry is heading in. So we would strongly endorse now more than ever more components of decentralized trials. So it's a slightly different topic today. Love to hear from your if you have any thoughts about what you'd like to hear about as it relates to the industry and COVID-19. But that's all for today. Thanks a lot for listening. Bye now.